Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Serrano, and today we're going to be talking about my top reasons to pick up the Honor X10 5G in 2021. Make sure you stay locked in with me. Alright, guys, so I'm going to talk about this device right now and all the reasons why I think I like it overall in 2021, but there's 5 reasons that I could think of off the top of my head. The number one reason is that it does have the 5 gigahertz or the 5G Wi-Fi basically and network. So right now I'm actually connected to the 5G on Metro by T-Mobile with this device. It does give you the option to connect to 5G on Metro by T-Mobile, which is cool. So I've been using this device as my main device with that network. It's really solid. You could get a lot of things done. It's snappy. It just does everything I need it to do. I can make phone calls, text messages, things of that nature. Everything is just here. The camera is really good. We'll get into that in just a second. But this device does work really nice on the network of 5G for Metro by T-Mobile. And although you do have to pay the $20 fee to activate the device on their network, it's actually pretty good once you get it going. But it does have all the bands, which is definitely something that's pretty cool. And I really like this software on this device. So that's the number one reason. Now the second reason is the hardware on this device. We have a side-mounted fingerprint sensor right here, which is extremely responsive. When you put your hand on it, it's gonna almost immediately just open up to the touch. So I really like that. You get your volume rocker right above it, which is really convenient. So all the buttons are right there. Your power button, your volume rocker's right here. Nothing on this side, so the build is just really nice. You get your SIM tool remover tray right there. Type-C. Now this device doesn't have dual speakers, but at the top you do get your headphone jack, which is a plus. And on the top is a pop-up selfie camera right here. It works really quickly, and I just really like the overall hardware. It's really built well. You would almost think this is like the flagship. You can see that camera module looks absolutely gorgeous. We'll get into that in just a second, but overall the back of it does get some fingerprints, as you can see right here. It is this really reflective material which looks beautiful. But the only downside to that is you will be able to get a lot of fingerprints on here really easily, as you can see right here. So I'm not sure why they continue to make phones that like do that, but it does gain it does look good when it doesn't have them on there. But as you can see, the overall hardware on this device is really good. And I do have a tempered glass screen protector on here for protection, but you do get a really good display on this device. That's the third thing. Now the display on here is just really beautiful, and I can't emphasize that enough, guys. It's got a full HD plus display, but as you can see, there's no notch on here, no cutout, no punch hole. It's just all display. So let's say you were to go into something like YouTube or something of that nature, you would be watching the screen in its full essence, basically. So you can see right here, it's just a full screen right here. And I have no issues with this display, but you can get to all your apps on here. And a lot of people ask me, will you be able to download all your apps on this device? Well, I've been able to pretty much download every single app on this device that I use. I could get to my Instagram, I can get to my Facebook, I can get to my Twitter, I can get to my YouTube, Spotify, things of that nature. So everything's on here. I even have Kindle on this device. We have a lot of things on this device that we can use. That would be the number third option, is just the overall screen. You're going to be able to play some good videos on this device, and it just has a really good display when you're scrolling through it and just pretty much doing anything on this device. It does look really nice. Now, when it comes to the gaming on here, guys, it's pretty insane. You can get ultra frame rates as well as HDR on here for less than $350. But overall, the gameplay is going to be really good. You're going to be able to play titles like PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, Asphalt 9, things of that nature. Now, we do only have a bottom firing speaker. We don't have a top speaker as well, so it's not dual speakers. That's the only downside I can think of. Now, this device does have the Kirin processing chip. It's an 820, which is going to be really powerful, guys. Honestly, when it comes to this chip, you know, I can't complain whatsoever. It's ultra smooth. So it's gonna be really good. You're gonna get the 6 gigabytes of RAM on here, but ultimately it's gonna be a really smooth gameplay, good performance, graphics wise, everything of that nature. Oh wow. But yeah, you're gonna definitely get a good experience with this device. It has all the sensors, the gyroscope, the proximity sensor, things of that nature. So, you know, I didn't have any issues with it. Now, when it comes to the cameras, guys, we are getting a 40 megapixel Sony IMX600 XMR RS at aperture of f1.8, which is crazy. So it's gonna be really good for night photography, things of that nature. 8 megapixel for wide angle as well, 2 megapixel for macro. You're gonna get 4K recording on the rear, and 16 megapixel is gonna be on the front. It's also a Sony megapixel IMX471 XMR RS as well. So this phone definitely will work on, you know, Metro by T-Mobile, you know, T-Mobile, AT&T, things of that nature. It has all the bands. You know, it probably won't work for Cricket Wireless though, because they have taken out all the networks for the unlocked devices. So you'd have to get something like Mint Mobile. But the cameras on here are absolutely amazing when it comes to photography. I was able to capture a lot of different shots on this device when it came to, you know, just overall the quality of this thing just looked really beautiful outdoors. If I was taking a shot of like this picture right here, just looks absolutely beautiful when you zoom in, of this statue right here, and it just has some really good detail to it. So, you know, I couldn't complain whatsoever. Any angle I took, I even could see the airplane here when I zoomed in, and there was no blur whatsoever, which was kind of crazy. So I could definitely say this device does do some justice when it comes to the photography and things of that nature. I could even see the moon when I zoomed in here. So some really good photos on here on this device. And I zoomed into the Statue of Liberty right here, and this was like 8 times. You could get up to 10 times zoom on this device, but it just takes some really good pictures on here of the World Trade Center as well. But like I said, the device is going to be able to take some beautiful photos, portraits. You could change the aperture as well on here. It has the night mode. It does have, you know, like a short mode for when you want to do short videos, things like that. Pro mode, slow-mo, time-lapse, super macro mode, high-res mode as well, which will gather a lot of detail if you use that. You could also change it up to 4K, like I said before, and 60 frames per second on 1080, which is cool. It's cool that you can change the aspect ratio and also adjust the video resolution and frame rate. I think that's good. So it's really tailorable for the cameras, something that's one of my favorite cameras to use right now. Now, this device does have a 4,300 milliamp hour battery, so it's going to give you like 2 days or more. But there's an option in here in display where you can choose between switching this display to like 90 hertz or you could switch it to low res or high res, things of that nature. You could adjust the frame rate to 90 or 60, which will actually consume less battery. So I've been having it on the low res, and I haven't even been noticing any real difference besides the super quick refresh rates. But if you're not going to really be doing anything where you're using the phone, I think it's cool that you can use it still without the refresh rate on and save a lot of battery in the meantime. But it definitely does look beautiful when you're scrolling in between things on the screen using that 90 hertz refresh rate. And it just looks really good when you're using it. I think that it's pretty cool because it's just really snappy. You can get to anything you want within a matter of like a quick tap. And I even have the Google Maps on here, which I'm able to mess around with. But overall, it's just a really snappy phone right now. So I do get about 2 days on this device when I'm using it. I normally charge it every 2 days. But not only is the display absolutely beautiful with that 90 hertz refresh rate when you're scrolling, the battery life is great. The cameras are also great. The performance for gaming is excellent as well, and the price point is at under $350, like I said before. So it's just an overall good device. Now, a lot of people would say, do you need the Google Play Store for it? Well, that's up to you. But for me, this device is working perfectly fine. I could even go to the Samsung browser right here and get to my YouTube Studio inside of the browser, so I could view my metrics as well. That's something that a lot of YouTubers would be interested in looking at as well. But I like the fact that I could still get to some of my metrics in the YouTube Studio through Samsung browser, and it just has a lot of features, guys. But ultimately, this is a really good device in 2021, and I'm using it right now as my main daily driver. I could use apps like WhatsApp. I could use for all my email and Yahoo Mail and things of that nature. So I think that's pretty cool as well. But let me know what you guys think down below. It's your boy Serrano, and I'll get right back with you later, crew. Peace.